Hello, I'm out on a beach walk and I thought I would just stop and tell a little story. Tell a story about me and how I ended up where I am today and why it is so important to me to help other women learn to live and move better in their bodies. I have been living my life as a full contact sport for most of my life. I danced as a ballerina for 17 years, played competitive softball for 40, played volleyball for 10, and I have been in and out of gym since I was 16 years old. I've been teaching yoga for 24 and practicing for over 30. So I've been moving for, I can't remember a time that I wasn't moving. I walk the beach almost every day, and I need movement in my life. And as I was getting older, there came that oh shit moment when I was still playing softball, when I realized that my brain was telling my body, you can do this, and still play at the same level. And my body was saying, what are you talking about? So it's been this journey to discover ways to be able to continue to move with as much freedom and mobility and stability and balance and flexibility as I have enjoyed my entire life. As a woman who's been through hormonal changes, finding out how those affect you, not just from a medical standpoint, but from the standpoint of how you move and live in your body, because things change. Muscles change, ligaments change, joints change, estrogen depletion happens, and it affects not just your muscle tissue, but all of those pieces that come together that make up who you are and how you move. So my goal has been, how do I figure out an integrated way to move, to make it so that it's fun, to make it so that it doesn't have to look this one way? Because there are a lot of people out there right now shouting into the void, telling you, if you're not lifting heavy, if you're not doing this, if you're not doing it that way, it's wrong. It's not wrong. After close to 20,000 hours of practical teaching experience, over 24 years, I can tell you not one body has walked through the door of any of my classes that moved or lived the same. Not one. So each approach needs to be something that can be tailored or mixed or blended in a way that allows it to be something that's usable for more than just one person. Yes, I work individually with clients who have specific need issues. I grew up with a grandmother who had polio in the 40s, so she used crutches and was in a wheelchair for the better part of her life. So I always grew up understanding about people who had movement restrictions, and I also saw a woman who continued to live her life on her own terms. So it's never been about what someone can't do, it's what can I find that they can do. And my approach is more around integration, because weightlifting is very isolation, right? You work with isolating individual body parts. And so I wanted to figure out a way to be able to integrate multiple muscles together, because that's how you move throughout your day. Your body is integrated movement. And I wanted it to be more than just because someone was looking for a certain aesthetic, but they're looking for, how do I improve my balance, my stability, my mobility, my functional movement? I blend all of the things that I've been certified over the years, somatic movements, yoga, even sports, right? As well as working with self-massage of fascia and a balance practice. So pulling all of those different pieces, those threads together to create this hybrid mix that I've come up with, that my in-person classes are full of women coming to move this way. And to be able to realize that they do have agency over their own bodies, even as they're aging and it feels like they're losing control, that they can feel more confidence in how they're moving, and that they enjoy it and come back, because that's the piece. If you can't enjoy it, if you're not doing something that brings you joy or happiness or makes you laugh at some of the things going on in your life, then you won't stick with it. And move it or lose it is very real. So my goal is to make it as approachable for as many people as possible, make it manageable for you to change in terms of how much resistance you're using, how big of moves that you're taking, where you need to get to in terms of on the floor, off the floor, standing, moving, whatever it is, so that you can tailor it to your specific needs. And it gives you a place to start, and you can always grow from there, because it doesn't have to look like anyone else. It has to look like you. Not because you are better, worse, or indifferent to anyone else, but you are you. Everything you're walking around with in your body houses everything you've lived in your life. So the approach is to be able to make it so that it works for you on a daily basis. All of that to say that this is something that I am passionate about for women. I want to be able to help you to find that space to move that brings you joy, that brings you back to a place where you feel confident and strong when you're moving, especially as we get older and things change. That's the reality. You can mitigate those changes, and it takes dedication and it takes consistency. So, if you want to join me on this journey, I welcome you to do that. I have multiple ways that you can do that, and I'm always available to for you to ask questions of, and I'll get back to you with answers as quickly as I can. But I'm just wanting to make sure that you understand who I am, why I'm doing this, what's driving me, what's the passion behind this. Because this isn't about me. It's about me using my body as the testing ground before I actually teach it in person. And then I tweak based on feedback from my students, based on feedback from myself, and then we grow from there. So if you have questions, please let me know. I just want to get as many people moving as much as they possibly can and living their life on their own terms. Thanks for joining me.